Welcome to Reclaim Your Life. I'm your host and producer, Duane. I'm an author, a life recovery coach, and a transformational catalyst for helping women live better lives. When we release the past, we can fully embrace the present. All of my guests this season will share their own journeys of self-discovery, how they pushed through pain with perseverance and now live as self-loving, empowered women with a purpose. And today I am so honored to introduce to you Mary Pritchard. Mary is a professor in the Department of Psychology at Boise State University, as well as a holistic health counselor and graduate of the esteemed Institute of Integrative Nutrition. Mary's extensive educational background, combined with her personal passion and commitment to empowering women in healing their hormonal health naturally and reclaiming their feminine power, empowers her clients to express profound shifts in their health and their life. Mary, I love talking to you, so I am so happy that we are doing this conversation together today. And it's just an honor to have you with me.
Thank you so much, Mel. I am honored to be here, and I love talking to you too, so this should be fun.
I always like to start the conversation with maybe a little tidbit that our speaker has written, and I found something really yummy on your fabulous blog post on the Huffington Post. And so this is what I found that I really loved. So what does it mean to walk in your power anyway? To me, it means this. We're all here for a purpose, our life's mission, if you will, but sidetracked along the way. Get caught up in the day-to-day chaos of our lives. We forget what we came to do, to this life to do. We intend to things that we thinking are more pressing, and we lose track of those things that really matters. The things that brought us here, our life's purpose. And I know that your purpose is helping women get back in touch with that goddess within them, that divine feminine energy. So let's talk about your journey of how you became enlightened and got to this point, and what motivated you to do the work you're doing today.
Okay. You and I both share a mutual friend, Linda Joy.
Yes.
And I love her. Linda likes to call things that happen to us that are unexpected and life-changing cosmic 2x4s. And I have had more of those in my life than I care to count. But until April of 2013, I had become wonderful at ignoring those little cosmic 2x4s. I mean, you know, I've had surgeries. I've had a near-death experience where I almost died of pneumonia several years back. I mean, everything is pretty much can happen to someone I think I've experienced, and none of that really woke me up to my truth. And one day I was doing a guided meditation, which I love to do. I meditate every day. It's something that helps keep me centered and grounded. And this particular meditation, I was struggling working on a book that I was writing. And I thought, okay, I'm going to do this meditation and maybe I'll get some answers as to why this book has just hit a roadblock. Because I never get writer's block. And I had writer's block in the worst possible way. And I did this meditation, and the message I got was, you are writing the wrong book for the wrong people and you're living the wrong life. and I thought, what? What do you mean? I ignored it. This is ridiculous. I've not gone through all of this schooling, done all of these things to be told by the universe in a meditation, no less, that I was living the wrong life and that I was writing the wrong book for the wrong people and that I just needed to stop. And what I was told in this guided meditation was that my purpose in life was to help women reconnect with and awaken up their inner goddess. And I thought, okay, I'm an academic. I'm like, what? What does this even mean? If, it's not research, it's not science-y, it's, like, what does this even mean? And so I, kind of my pattern when I was hit by a cosmic 2x4 in the past is I just kind of tucked my head under, tried to forget that it happened, and kept moving on. And a couple of days later, I was still frustrated because I was not able to make progress on this one particular book that I was working on. And so I did the meditation again. And I got the exact same message. And then and frustrated, I got the message, go sit down at your laptop. So I thought, okay, I'll play along with this game. So I sat down at my laptop and I cranked out a full outline, a complete outline, subheadings, titles of chapters. I mean, it was just ridiculously complete outline of the book that I have now subsequently finised in 15 minutes. You're a writer, Mal.
That doesn't
happen. Write anything in 15 minutes.
I would give anything to have that happen.
I know. Yeah. So here I was, and I'm thinking, I'm writing. Yeah, this is great, but this is not the book I was writing, and then now I have this totally different book that now I am supposed to be writing. That's not anything to do with anything I've really ever done before. Especially on a professional level. And so I thought, okay. Apparently, the universe is not going to let me rest until I write this book. And so I cranked out the whole book, first draft of the book, in a couple of months, which, again, that's incredibly fast.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, and I've gone back, I think 4 times now, and it's in revisions, but it has flown out of me like water. I mean, it's not me writing it. That's the best way that I can describe it.
I know exactly what you're saying. It's like a divine download. There's
it is a divine download. Yeah.
There's no resistance here, girl. It's just put the pen to paper and let it go.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
How exciting.
So I got to the point that every time I sit down at my computer, and I still do it to this day, every time I go to write a blog or work on a book or work on anything really, I sit down and I say to myself, I say out loud typically, I light a candle and I say, Goddess, guide my thoughts, my sight, my words, my voice, my hands, and my body. And then I put my hands on the keyboard and I start typing. And whatever comes out, comes out.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's such a different way of living my life than I had lived up until that point because I was so disconnected.
Explain that to us. You were so disconnected. I know what that means, but I'm wondering if our listeners know what that means when you really feel disconnected.
Right, yeah. And I didn't even really know that I was disconnected until I got this cosmic 2x4 hitting me upside the head from the universe twice, no less than in 1 week. And I thought that because I was doing what other people wanted me to do, society, my parents, my husband at the time, the things that were expected of me from my work, from my job, I just assumed that because I was meeting the societal expectations that had been placed upon me that I was fine, and I really didn't need to worry about stuff like intuition or inner wisdom or beliefs. I'm like, no, I'm just I'm trotting along my path that I've carved out for myself in my 40-year journey, and I just put my head down and I buckled through, and I just went from one project to the next, one paper to the next, and never really thought, is this what I actually am supposed to be doing with my life? I never asked myself that question because I didn't know I was supposed to. And so that's where the disconnect comes from.
You made a radical change.
I made an incredibly radical change, and I still struggle with it. Mm-hmm. I know that this teleseminar is about reclaiming your life, but I want women to know that, it's not, and you and I have talked about this before. It's not as though the light bulb suddenly turns on and your life has changed forever and you never struggle again. It's a continual roller coaster ride. It really is what it is.
It's a journey.
It is a journey, and I love it. And you're never done learning it. And just when you think you've learned a lesson, it comes back again in a different way, and you're like, wow, I thought I learned that lesson, but apparently not. So, and that happened, with the book too. As I was working on the book, I would be working on a particular chapter and I would get writer's block again, and I would get the message, you're not ready to write this yet because you haven't resolved your own issues. Go work on it and then come back and then you can write it. And I would have to do that. I would have to go do a lot of journaling and a lot of inner work, a lot of letting go of these, outside influences, and really go deep within and connect back with who I was and what my purpose in life was before whatever lesson I needed to learn could be learned, so that then I could go and write and communicate it to other people. And that's an unfolding process. And you know that. Every time you sit down to write, half the time you're surprised at what comes out, and that's fine.
And it's not what you thought you were going to be writing about.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
It's, when I meditate and then I write, it's like, I wasn't even thinking about writing that. And something else entirely different comes out on the paper.
Yeah.
Mary, you mentioned something that so many women struggle with, doing what other people expected of you, living your life according to somebody else's expectations.
Mm-hmm.
How did you really break away from that? I mean, you did a lot of different changes in your life, and I don't know how much you want to share here, so please share what you're comfortable with, but there was a lot of change besides the book.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So in the past 6 months, I started my own health coach business. I got a divorce. I moved. I have finished the book that I had started, and I've started another one that's a follow-up to that. I launched 2 websites. It has just been incredible. And it seems, in talking to people who know me and in talking to my friends, the amount that I've gotten accomplished in such a short period of time on something that I had really never realized or accepted that was my life's calling has just really been phenomenal. And so to me, that's a sign that I'm doing the right thing.
It's huge. And you did all of this basically on crutches. Can I throw that in?
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course.
You left that aspect out that you've been battling.
I did, yeah. I can't. And I just fell on the ice yesterday, so you would think
God.
that So, note to anyone who may be on crutches, do not try to navigate the snow and ice when you're on crutches, because it doesn't work. So Universe, one of my cosmic 2x4s that I talked about earlier, was that I broke my heel last fall. And it was my left heel, so the left side is the feminine side. And so, and it just refused to heal, just flat out refused to heal. I was on crutches, I kept going, physical therapy, and nothing was helping at all. And it got to the point that I could walk, still in pain, but I could walk. And then I go and I re-break it again this past summer. So within a year, I break my heel twice, because it never really healed the first time. And so, just funny story. And again, this is just the way Universe works. So I've been on crutches this time around for 4 months, and I've now been in a cast for probably 5 weeks at this point. They did put the cast on after a little while after I broke it the first time. They wanted to just see how it would heal on its own. And I ran into this woman who I'd never ever met before. And she, everybody who sees me on crutches says, "Oh, what did you do?" And I say, "I broke my heel." And she said, "Oh, usually it's, oh, how did you do that?" Which I have no idea. I have no idea how I broke my heel either time. So that's even the bigger mystery of the way the universe works. But this one particular woman says to me, "Why did you do that?" And I'm thinking, well, it's not like I got out a sledgehammer and did it myself. What do you mean, why did I do that? And it wasn't until a couple of days later that I realized that was another cosmic 2x4 from the universe, really questioning me to make myself think, okay, I didn't do anything to break it. I mean, it's not like I fell. It's not like, I had an accident. It just happened twice within a year. And it's so fun. I mean, like I was saying earlier, you reclaim your life and you think, okay, now I've got it, and no. And I had gotten pretty upset, after I broke my heel the second time in less than a year, because I was like, universe, what's going on here? I've totally changed my life. I've done everything you've told me to do since April, and here I am in crutches again. And what I realized was that even though I had made a lot of external changes, I had done the external work of the writing and the websites and the blogging and all of the things that you see, out there, I hadn't done enough internal work. So the universe was forcing me to slow down so that I could actually do the work I needed to do internally. And I do not know if that even would have even occurred to me had some random woman walked up to me and said, "Why did you do that?"
So what did you have to start to do, Mary, internally to catch up with everything that you had created this past year?
So I needed to start walking my talk. I had gotten to the point that, like I shared earlier, whenever I sit down and write, I just kind of open up the channels and start typing. But what the universe was pointing out to me was that I could dish it, but I couldn't take it. So I was not always taking my own advice. I wasn't doing the daily, prayer and meditation like I advised every day. I wasn't journaling as much as I should. I wasn't really checking in with myself on a continual basis throughout the day like I should be. And so what I ended up going back and doing was rereading everything that I had written since this awakening and started following my own advice. It's a miracle what happens when you start, following the downloads that you're getting from the universe. And so I have filled an entire journal. I actually need to order a new one because it really is almost entirely full this fall. I've been painting. I have been doing a lot of emotional work and checking in and just asking myself every day when I get up, what do I need to do for me today? Not what's on my to-do list, not what needs to get done, but what do I need to do for me today? And that, I think, is women especially. When you tell a woman you need to check in with yourself and do something for yourself, I think our immediate response is, "Oh, that's selfish. I don't have time to do that." But
so important.
But we do, and we must.
And
it's been an interesting journey.
That you say, 3 of the things that are the foundation for your internal process, which I do daily myself, or at least I try daily, I do miss on occasion, is the meditation, the prayer, and the journaling. I mean, that's the foundation of my growth, and what's taken me to where I am today is that process.
Exactly.
And if women would only embrace that one message, if they could just bring those tools into their lives, take a half hour to an hour every morning for themselves before their day starts and family gets up and kids go to school and everything, and just do that, I truly believe that their lives would change so dramatically for the better.
I agree.
Yeah.
The Dalai Lama once said that Western women would change the world. Yeah. And I think what he meant by that was not, our harried running around, getting as much done, being superwoman kind of thing. I think what he was talking about is those of us who have reclaimed our lives, who do start our morning with the prayer and the meditation and the journaling instead of checking email while you're still laying in bed, right? Those are the women that are going to really make a difference. The women who have finally realized and chosen. So it's a choice. I mean, like I said, I was hit with cosmic 2x4s for years and years and years, and I chose not to listen to them. But once you make the choice to listen and you choose to continue the practice, that's when the ahas hit. That's when the happiness happens. That's when you really realize what you were meant to do in this life.
So, Mary,
and that's powerful.
What are you meant to do in this life? Besides write beautiful content books, be a superstar in the Huffington Post, what what is Mary's mission now for women? Your website is absolutely beautiful, and you are doing a lot of work in hormonal imbalance, which is so important to women because it's something that we all struggle with at different points in our lives. It's kind of part of who we are. So tell us about all of this wonderful heart and soul and connecting everything and balance that you're now teaching.
Yeah. So when I had the two meditations back in April of 2013, it's a couple days apart, that said, you're writing the wrong book for the wrong people and all of that. The message I got at that time was that I'm a healer, but to help others heal, I was going to have to go through some pretty darn turbulent times and learn how to heal myself so that I could then share that message with other women. And, as I shared earlier, it's been quite the roller coaster ride since I had that awakening, in April, and all of the things that I have been through. But it has been through that I have realized that to really heal, it's not. We'll use my broken heel for an example, since I'm still working on that issue. And I know, until I finally get the message, the complete message that I'm supposed to get from it. I've realized that it's, you can't just, I think we like to compartmentalize things in society. When you talk about healing, I think for a lot of people that's a solely physical thing. And they don't realize how much of what happens to us is attracted to us by our own choices. And so when we talk about healing, it's at all levels. It's a mental healing. It's an emotional healing. It's, yes, a physical healing, but it's also, and this was huge for me, a spiritual healing. Because you really have to go in and connect with, at least in my case, and really you have to go connect with divine, whatever that means to you, and accept the gifts that divine has gifted you with in this lifetime and really own them and act on them. Because to refuse to do that, I think is one of the worst messages that we can give to divine, is to say, I know you have these great things you want me to do, but I've chosen not to do that. And that's what I was doing for nearly 40 years before I finally got, knocked over the head with a 2x4 enough times that I'm like, okay, I get it, I'm doing the wrong thing. And so it's about, because I work with women, it's about finding balance in your life, and that's through food, and that's through movement, and that's through hormonal health. But most importantly, it's through your connection with the divine, whether, that be Christ, whether that be Goddess, whether that be Buddha, whoever divine is for you. Because that's really where your inner wisdom comes from. And that's really how we should be living our lives, is through, for the purpose that we were brought here to do, and in a healthy way that honors who we are, body, mind, spirit.
And when we're connected to that divine guidance and we are living with purpose, as you have mentioned, our lives just flow.
Yeah.
Our creativity, our brilliance, everything is heightened, and we perform at such a different level when we're in that flow. It's amazing. Yeah.
But part of that also, in addition to connecting in with the divine, is you have to take care of yourself.
Oh, very
And I
important.
think, I think that self-care, especially for women in today's society, is a very neglected area of our lives, because we're the caregivers. We take care of everybody else but ourselves. But the bottom line is, you're really not going to be able to connect in with divine if you're hungry and you're stressed out and you're not feeding your body with foods that are nutritious and wholesome and will help give you the energy you need to do the work that you were meant to do.
You have a wonderful gift that you are giving away free to our listeners.
I am.
Bless you. And I'd love for you to share about the gift, what it's going to do, and where they can find it.
Okay. So the gift is my free report, 10 Signs Your Inner Goddess is Calling You. And this is then the culmination of all of the cosmic 2x4s that hit me before I realized what it was. And so in there, I talk about the cosmic 2x4 process and about what it looks like when you're not living your truth and some of the symptoms that you might be experiencing that are really a sign of a disconnect, that you're not really, living the life that you were meant to live. And then I go through meditations and tips and guidance for what to do to help reawaken that connection with the divine. And so it's really about, it's a workbook, and you can step through it at your own pace, but it's really meant for women who are at the point that they know, because this is where I was when I kind of had my final awakening that, okay, I'm doing the wrong thing. I knew that my life was not perfect. I knew I was very unhappy, but I didn't know why. And so for women who are at that point that they're just like, is this all there is? They're so fed up with the day-to-day grind, and they feel like something is missing. This is a workbook that helps you figure out what it is that's missing and how to get it back. And they can get that on my website, which is awakeningthegoddesswithin.net. And
I'm going to go over there and sign up for it myself.
Okay.
That sounds wonderful. It sounds wonderful. And Mary, if someone wants to reach out to you, maybe connect with you about some coaching or working with you privately, about getting balance back in their life, how could they reach out to you?
So they can go to my website, and if they go to the About or Contact button at the very bottom of that, you'll see that there's an email address that you can just click on, and it's mary@awakeningthegoddesswithin.net. And that'll send you right to my inbox, and then we can talk about the coaching. We can talk about whatever I may be able to do to help.
When's the book coming out?
Sometime in 2014. I do not have a date yet. So
that's exciting.
Anxiously awaiting.
Do you have a title yet?
I know.
Do you have the title of the book?
Well, it's evolved. So I can give you the current title, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be the absolute, as you know,
yes.
These things sometimes change. And so the current title of the book is Rock Your Inner Goddess, How to Recharge, Reignite, and Refocus to Transform Your Life.
Ooh, I love it.
Yeah.
Yes. And I hope that you'll keep us posted on this. Please, stop over to my website or Facebook page and post and let us know, when it's out there, because I know I want a copy. I love your work. I love what you're doing to support women in tapping into what's within them instead of looking for solutions outside of themselves. It really is all inner work that's going to bring them to that place of feeling balance. And
it really is.
You're a master at that. You're a genius at it. And I thank you so much for being part of the series. It's always a pleasure to connect with you. I love your work.
Thank you, Mal.
And this has been great fun. And let's do it again.
Oh, let's do. Thank you so much, Mal. And
Thank you.
Right back at you. I love your work, too.
Oh, great. Thanks, Mary. And have a beautiful day.